What's up with it, world? It's your boy, the Toothless Wonder, aka Foul Shot. I'm reporting live on the Bamboozle Again News Network in the first state, which is Delaware. And I had to kind of pull it to the slab, to the curb, to cover some more YouTubial news. Again, some more bamboozlement, so you can identify and navigate your way around it. In relation to the brother, now, I listen to various content creators, videos that have been, informative, along this journey, right? So I check out the brother Epic Mindsets, right? And he said that this particular brother, and based on what SRBG said, who's helped me evolve in certain areas of knowledge and identification, I won't use this particular brother's name, right? So he has said that this particular YouTuber, who has a, immense following, subscriber list, whatever, had mentioned his name in relation to what he observed or his take on what was going on in the proverbial quote-unquote chosen ones community. Brother we may all know and had a falling out, right? So Epic Mind says he called him a dummy. So I'm like, oh, wow, okay, boo-doo-woo. All right, boom. So I'm doing whatever I'm doing today, and then brother SRBG had a video about the rules of engagement in a spiritual sense. So he said this same particular YouTuber, and I had seen the video, I just didn't click on it, had made a video in reference to chosen ones being schizophrenic, demon possessed, whatever the case may be. So I'm like, wow. And then I remember I had seen the video title, I just didn't click on it. So SRBG break down to the down, right? So I'm like, okay, cool, boom. Okay, makes spiritual sense. You see what I'm saying? In reference to my personal situation about exposing what was going on at my former job, right? Now I gotta check myself. So I check, like, I'm not doing this for grandstanding purposes or to uplift myself or be opportunistic in a what I would deem a tragic situation. The using of the vulnerable people for sexual purposes and financial purposes, right? But the last video I did, because it kept happening and I kept hearing about it, I put their name in it. And I'm wondering if I was wrong in doing that. But I wanted to know I did it for target purposes. Like, yeah, I did it. You know what I'm saying? This ain't no mystery. And I'm not so much that, even though that is the case, but also so that I want to take an open public stand against y'all so y'all can separate them from me. You see what I'm saying? Which goes into what I was talking about, this fraction of society where you can't really play the middle ground anymore. Even if you try to, you're going to get pushed to either the left or the right. So back to SRBG, he was saying how, this particular guy had made videos in reference to, chosen ones, quote unquote, being schizophrenic. So I check it out, right? And now I stay trying to check myself to make sure I'm not getting puffed up with knowledge, right? Because the last snap articulations I've made about situations on YouTube, at the job, in my personal life have been dead accurate. So much so it be scaring me. Like, I want to be wrong so I can, like, almost dial it back to a degree. You know what I'm saying? But again, I'm not, for grandizing purposes, but it's reiterating and solidifying this new space I'm in of attempting to be led by the Spirit, right? So the Spirit does what? Lead you in all truth and knowledge. And I ain't been wrong. You see what I'm saying? And I know that the Heavenly Father, He bestows upon us certain gifts, which is a gift I need now. I see it because everything, not everything, but most things you see are bamboozling. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay. So I listen to his talking points. And he's basically still doing what I predicted. If you check out the previous video about this guy, a beef, right? I'll just put it like that, right? It's played out exactly like I thought. Once I seen both sides of the video, and I just made one just on my feelings, right? Which is really my intuition. And he's done it to a T. He's on this particular, now he supposedly makes chosen ones content, but now what he's attempting to do, in my humble opinion, is siphon or annex other people's subscribers to him based on what he's saying and the intent for him saying it. Basically saying, if you subscribe to these people, you're stupid. You see what I'm saying? That's a baiting tactic. And for those who may not be as spiritually sure of themselves, you don't want to be stupid. Here's someone, you know, that you may esteem to some degree. And then you'll start questioning yourself, right? Because you don't want to be stupid. That's one of the things I think the CIA put in one of their handbooks for truth tellers or whistleblowers to run a smear campaign and call them crazy. So he was talking about like gang stalking ain't real, right? And when the issue first happened, I had seen the videos and kind of I checked on one, and I'm like, it don't resonate. Like, what's he talking about? I didn't know what was going on that was later to be revealed. So he talking about gang stalking ain't real, and I'm like, well, yes, it is. Like, what is he talking about? You see what I'm saying? Case in point, sometimes, you know, you can't necessarily believe everything you see, but like, you should have some semblance of confidence, right? So I was at the job one day, and we had a particular client that the nurses or what, they just couldn't connect with him, I guess, for lack of a better term. So I hear about it, so I'm like, let me go holler cuz, right? Now, he wasn't behaviorally, whatever, but he was about to leave, so we're supposed to try to stop him leave. So when I start talking to the brother, based on the talking points Newbury had used in the videos I saw, then I started using certain terminology, right? So, or what it looks like, because I'm the identification guy, right? So when I say this, he, like, his eyes light up like, yo, you know about that? And then he goes on like 45 minutes like, yeah, bro. And I'm letting him talk, and then I'm kicking little stuff back to him based on what he's saying. And he was like, yo, it just feels so good to have somebody to understand, because he grew up in a cultic family. He broke free. He had been privy to, rituals and this, that, and the third. And he wasn't just making this up. Like, he was being very specific. And you can tell when somebody's crazy, like really crazy, but to tell the truth versus I'm playing crazy and making it up. So he did end up leaving, but he was like, yo, thank you, bro. He said, man, I'm going to stay the night and pray on it and all that. Because he had said that, he knew that something was protecting him. Because they had tried to, leave him, you know what I'm saying, on numerous occasions, but it didn't work miraculously, right? So he had said that. So he was like, I'm going to leave in the morning, though, you know what I'm saying? But I'm good. I got to get back in the battlefield, baby. He said, but I'm going to let her, all the clinicians and all that know, like, yo, you was the only one to help me, bro. But the only reason I was able to help the brother and how he should move in response to the offensive attacks that was coming against him is because of talking points of primarily Newbury and a few other brothers. SRB. I didn't find him out till just recently, right? So this is what I find odd about this particular individual. He's arguing these talking points, but he didn't argue these talking points prior to the beef. He was aligned with these folks. So now all of a sudden you didn't come up with this epiphany that none of the stuff these people are saying is true. And even if you did feel that way, you still didn't say nothing until you pulled your move off, and now you come out and attack. Like I said in my video, I'm like, yo, it seemed like Cuz is going on this almost Genghis Khan-esque campaign through the YouTube Spiritual Chosen One streets to claim all the men over anybody. So if you go in his chats or whatever, if let's say you ask a question, he'll immediately call you stupid, insinuating because you're not listening to me, then you must be stupid. You know what I'm saying? So now he's name calling. If you've seen this brother's content prior to the issue and after, other than how he actually looks, you can't tell it's the same YouTube content creator. His voice inflections are different. And like I was telling y'all, when I had PTSD one time, I started being able to read people's voice inflections because my hyper-vigilance, I just had near death, went to the moon. You see what I'm saying? So I can now tell, you can say two things two different ways, and I can tell your intent behind it. And I'm the intent guy. So what is your reason? Like, here's another one, right? The bamboozling dude, right? So he'll say, he'll question brother's masculinity, while in application and behavior in the real time he's saying it, do unmasculine things. The projection is off the Richter scale. You see what I'm saying? Like I'll give you an example. Like I was in a so-say relationship one time, and the person would call me sneaky, even though it was, come to find, it was they were the ones that were sneaky, right? But they'll keep projecting this on you, so you change your behavior to prove to the other person you're not doing something you weren't doing, and putting out all these fictitious fires, and you're so busy scrambling around doing that, you're not recognizing they're actually embodying all the stuff they're putting on you. I seen one video clip, he was saying something about another guy, and then something about, I didn't make fun of this guy, and if somebody can prove it, I'll give him a thou wow, right? Knowing that's going to draw in people to check this particular content out. But he has made fun of the man. I've seen him do it. You see what I'm saying? But here's where they'll move the goalpost. You'll say, oh, when you said he had a head like a mouse, I'm just paraphrasing or just making up something for example. He'll then use, verbiage to get out of it. No, well, when I said his head was like a mouse, I mean a mouse actually has a small brain. I wasn't making fun of the man. I was actually highlighting his lack of intelligence. You see what I'm saying? They just keep moving the devil's in the detail. These people just keep talking about the same stuff over and over and over again. You claim you were the hurt party. However, you're not showing any signs of emotional hurt. But again, it's not just him. You'll notice this on your job, in your community. If you're evolving or ascending, you'll start noticing these in your friends. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll say, oh, maybe you don't hang out the way you used to because you handling business. They'll say, oh, what you think you better than somebody? You don't care like that. You humble because you do all the work you had to put in, prayers, crying out, frustration, doubt, all that you went through, right? You don't even care it like that because you know you in a fortunate position. So you try to safeguard and be a good steward over it. But when they say that, they actually feel you better than them. And technically, that might be the case. From a behavioral, an internal standpoint, a moral standpoint, things of that nature. That's why I feel the need. Like, if I can avoid it, I just do. Not that I can't handle, not that I can't identify it. I don't want to fool with it. If I ain't got to, I would rather, in real life, trend towards like-minded individuals. And certain brothers like I name, like I don't know about levels, but these brothers have helped me in their own way. You see what I'm saying? So now, if anybody's in my similar situation, and this particular guy, I'm gonna say his name, is off on an island by himself, then in totality, they still have more of an influence. But here's what the thing is. Now the fake is attacking the real. But like SRBG said, like the weapons of our warfare aren't carnal. So you get off your post when you attack back, because now you're playing the game on their terms, and they're well versed in that. And that's not how the Most High would have you carry. The only offensive weapon we got is the word, the sword. Everything else for defensive purposes. And I play some great defense in the sense of like, what they call it, that Philly shoulder roll, or, you know what I mean? The rope-a-dope. Because they'll tire themselves out if they can't hit you. They swing so much because they have to. If they can't hit you, they tire themselves out. And they look foolish doing it. Just like, the SRB, he said this particular brother got the Jezebel spirit. And I had been said that. I just didn't use that terminology. Because I'm like, what man make 20,000 videos about another man? You see what I'm saying? Or these, what I like to call these insinuating baiting tactics, or like how they say in New Orleans, trying to pull you in the water. I'm going to say something disrespectful, right? All the meanwhile claiming you disrespected me. But I'll be blatantly disrespectful, hoping I get a reaction out of it. Because once I can get you in emotion, then I can run into the rest of the play I had planned out the whole time. And the various minefields that I got set up. So I think it was wise for the other brother in question. He said his piece, he was done with it. He back to the business. He's still trying to bait these folk in. And now what done happened is he's kind of stepped in a room and the door sealed behind him. Because he can't go back and make scriptural content. It's almost like a rapper who come in the game beefing. Yeah, he might come in the game beefing, woo. But then once you stop beefing, nobody's checking your regular music out. You see what I'm saying? You got to keep finding somebody beef with. If you don't start. But that's a dangerous game. Just causing random beef. Just throwing stuff out there. Or hypothetical, hoping somebody catch the signal so you can play that game with them. The best thing you can do, just like with a woman, is completely ignore them and keep handling your business. And be dismissive of them. They can talk all the most yin-yang in the world. And you saying, and you might even chuckle to yourself and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Because in reality, outside of them being able to push you off your square, they pose no threat at all. Because they did, they would just go head up, straight up with you. But they know they can't do that. Or say you're a confident person, right? Just in yourself, your skill set, whatever. Then you might get with a significant other, you know, whether male, female, you know, flip-floppity, whatever, right? And then they'll start trying to chip away at your confidence by keep planting seeds or questioning seeds of doubt. You know, let's say, I don't know. I'm trying to give an example here of, like, let's say, okay, I'm a man, so the woman be like, you can't get that job. But you've done that, you might just be going for another company or something to that effect. Well, one, if you're with me, why would you say that? Now, my spidey sense tingling, especially now. But all right, whatever. Let's say you get the job. Oh, that's what's up. But I don't know how long you'll stay there. You see what I'm saying? Keep in an effort to chip away. Because if you don't kick that seed out the ground, it'll grow, which you ain't realizing, especially if you're not operating any kind of self-awareness or aware of the people around you and the motive and intent for what they say and how they say it and when they say it. Again, you let people talk long enough, if you're discerning enough, you can tell where they at with it. Because words from the abundance of the heart, the mouth speak. Now, in relation to, like, this particular content creator talking about chosen one and becoming, like, I don't know, watered down or everybody just, I agree with him on that. But he's aiming this at particular folk, though. In essence, and like I said, in a video that SRBG did comment on, he was like, yo, you exactly right. Like, when I first seen it, I'm like, yo, he's playing almost like an up-top version or a New York City version of the 48 Law or the Art of War. What chosen one go to war without being provoked to? And like SRBG was saying, there's rules of engagement. You see what I'm saying? So with my situation going against the U-ish Rand rehab where, you know, I've managed to, in one fell swoop, run afoul of a Jewish institution, the sisterhood of black women, and they got witchcraft practitioners in there. So I'm wondering, and I did call them out by name because I went up other round and it just, now mind you, I don't want, so like, yeah, I'm the man that took down the whoop, right? That's not the thing. The thing is, because I'm a recovering addict, I want y'all to stop subverting these men processes like we don't have enough men out here getting dropped by Jezebels. That's my giddy up. But I ain't left alone. I done filed a little state claim. I figured out how to do that. But I feel the need to go to war with that for the greater good. You see what I'm saying? And to stop the Jezebel from just being able to run ramshod in an institution where there's a bunch of vulnerable men, whether they believe it to be or not. And once she batter her eye about twice, you gone. You don't even think you got to work on nothing. Why I got to work on all that? She got a bachelor's degree, and she like me. Again, not realize this is what she do, harvest men's souls. You just the next in line. And she, like, I never had no issues at this spot. One, I've been in society, but I hadn't really been around close proximity of folk in society on a consistent basis. So once I got there, it revealed to me all the stuff he was working on. I didn't see it because I wasn't around nobody to bounce it up off of. I said, oh, man. Now, we're in this place of healing, but I can tell ain't nobody healed. Everybody just went to school, but they're using social status as a way of heaping people into themselves. I ain't got no education for none of this, but I don't need none, as I say, because I got all the experience. So the people they can't deal with, who deal with them? Me. Who makes these identification, articulations of what should be done? Me. Y'all don't know what to do. Y'all ain't been in the battlefield. So because of that, that's why I felt the need to do that. Now, if it goes somewhere, it goes somewhere. If it don't, it don't. But I feel like I did the right thing. I took a public stand. And it don't benefit me none. Because now, ain't nothing going to happen again, so long as I stay on my path. But I know I preferably want my head. They're not used to nobody. They're used to people going along to get along. They're not used to nobody quitting on them twice and taking a stand for something now that don't really benefit me. It would have been more beneficial if I stayed there and just kept getting the money and playing with them folks. But I said, I ain't going to be able to do that. My spirit said that. Nah, we ain't be able to do that, cuz. You know what I'm saying? And I called them out to their face. I went down there, I told the owner, man. You know what I'm saying? What's up, cuz? Because I'm going to war for those who don't even know they're in a war and had no support. Don't need none. But on that note, man, I just wanted to come through with a quick one because Because we got to be able to identify these bamboozlers here. Because they're coming out the woodworks and they're not stopping. The weapon form, it don't prosper. You just can't feed into them. Now, if they make, slander, then you come with your proof and, you got your documentation and you prove them to be liars and the falsehood spewers that they are. But you can't you can't play on their terms. You got to take the high road because we're higher beings. And it is quite, trust and believe, it is tempting. It is tempting. But that's your flesh, though. You know what I'm saying? I'm learning all this now. So anything I learn, and I know to be true, because I started to bamboozle again news network. I've been bamboozled, so I don't want you to get bamboozled. So, of course, do your due diligence and check what I'm saying. But I'm not here I don't get out of bamboozling people. You know what I'm saying? That can't be my claim to fame. That can't be my essential, my way to finance or nothing. You know what I mean? I'm going down with the ship. But if I go down with the ship, I went down my way, stand on what I know to be right. And on that note, man, I'll holler at y'all. Ooh, ah!